So you're a philosopher?
Yes. 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 Yes.
Hello everyone, welcome to another episode of Leaders of a New School. Today we're going to talk about the Gambia. The Gambia is a small country located in West Africa that's surrounded by Senegal. It does share a small coastline with the Atlantic Ocean. It is a beautiful country with sandy beaches, fresh seafood, fresh fruit, the food, the culture, the history. Everything about the Gambia is one of the reasons why it's becoming a fast-growing hub for many African Americans to move there and migrate there with their families as an alternative of living in the United States or living a capitalistic lifestyle. You know, in the Gambia, you can see that it's a slower pace. You know, it's a place where you can feel welcomed, you can feel secure. When we were deciding for ourselves to move our families somewhere, the first place that we looked at was the Gambia. There's so many YouTube channels that you can go to that they have families that actually move there, where you can buy the land. The land at that time, it was pretty reasonable, and the American dollar can go far. So if you have a business or something like that and you move to the Gambia and continue, or you decide to do business there, it's a valuable choice. We were almost hooked as well because of all of the benefits that the Gambia have to offer. If this was a podcast about tourism, Gambia would be one of the ones that's first on our list. However, this is a podcast about education and education reform and literacy and how we can improve literacy. So with that being said, before you pack your bags and you move to the Gambia, let's first look at the education system in the Gambia. Once again, thank you for tuning in to our next episode of Leaders of a New School, where we look at the educational system in the Gambia. If you haven't already, please click the subscribe button, make sure that your notifications are on, and please comment and let us know how we're doing. Let me give you a little background information. So the Gambia, and this is going to be extremely important, especially if you are seriously looking to move to the Gambia and you have children. One of the things that you want to look at is what will be the education of my child if we were to move here. Is it a suitable place? What type of educational future will our child have, or our children have? This was extremely important for us because we have so many children. This is one of the top things that I have to look at when it's concerning migrating to any other country besides the United States. The educational system in the Gambia, I would say, is not the best. They are hosting, I believe their government website said they have 8 million that falls under the illiteracy, under the illiteracy rate. 57% of that are females that they are considered illiterate. Illiterate meaning that they cannot read or write. They can maybe understand the English and you can speak to them. English is one of their major languages, but they are their illiteracy rate is alarming, to say the least. We are looking at how are they with their teachers, the teaching resources. In the Gambia, there's only one teacher college for the whole country. And teachers are not, the teacher status, the status of the teachers are not actually looked at in a favorable light. Their low salaries is long hours, and you see a rotation of teachers leaving to get a better life because the salaries that they live on are not going to be good. So with that being said, it's going to be very difficult to get high quality teachers. And high quality resources, which makes for, as we know, because we see the same thing in the United States, it makes for students having inconsistency in their learning. So this is one of the things that is happening with the educational system that's in the Gambia. But today, as we all know, I do not like to dwell on the problems, but the problems need to be made aware, especially since they are having some of the same issues that the United States is having with trying to find quality teachers and trying to keep those quality teachers, and having and teachers used to have a high status in America, but now we see that this is becoming lower and lower as entertainers are becoming greater and greater in the status. Our moral compass is getting a little confused here. But today we have a very special guest. This brother that we are going to have today, he has been instrumental in me forming what I wanted to do, what type of footprint I wanted to leave. He's the first person that I saw that established a school from, I would say, from very little means. And I don't want to give too much away because I really want, I want his story to speak for himself. I want what he's doing to speak, because it's going to be better than anything that I can say. But I'm speaking of no other than Mr. Ibrahim Sarr. He's the founder of the Center of Academic Excellence that's in the Gambia. It's a boys and girls Islamic school, and it started off as a small, just something small to try to help the Islamic community in the country. And then from that, now he's hosting three buildings, which is one for nursery, which we would consider preschool to KG, and one for girls and one for boys. And the vision that he's developing is showing through the children and the happiness of the children and the excellence that's coming from the school. They have now, he's tackling the literacy problem, where maybe before it was never heard of a Gambian school to be to have a high placement in a spelling bee. But now, because of his school and the success that he's allowed to have, he is seeing the success that his school, his students are now becoming one of the top on the spelling bee, something that wasn't done before. So I'm really excited to have Mr. Ibrahim here. He is one of the people who's not complaining, but he's actually doing a solution. So with that being said, I don't want to say anything else. I want to just bring him on. You guys sit back, relax. I think that you're going to enjoy seeing this. And like I said, if you haven't already, please subscribe to our channel. But either way, make sure you come back for this next episode of Leaders of a New School. You're not going to want to miss it.
So you're a philosopher?
Yes. 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 Yes.
Okay, and welcome back to Leaders of a New School, where I'm sitting with Mr. Ibrahim Sarr, the principal and founder of the Center of Academic Excellence. Now, as I stated upon the break, we're going to be discussing about the benefits of the school and just a little bit of how we got started. Before we do that, let's just take a look at some of the video of the this is the nursery and the boys and girls building, as well as I believe this is one of the Quran classes that we have at the Center of Academic Excellence. We're going to put the link if you would like to get in touch with Mr. Ibrahim. We'll put the link under the YouTube channel, as well as any other information that we can give as far as giving to charity, or if you want to donate your time or anything like that. So without further ado, Mr. Ibrahim, thank you once again for coming and being with us.
Okay, this is one of our schools, the nursery school.
Never mind. Let them find it. You're taking too long.
Salah.
Where are they? They're supposed to be all in elastic bands.
Assalamualaikum. Hey, Ahmad. Yeah, Ahmad. Assalamualaikum. How are you guys? You alright? MashaAllah. Good to know. Assalamualaikum. How are you all?
We are fine, thank you.
MashaAllah. This is the new place we want to have. I'll take you around on a tour. Assalamualaikum. Ini kamu nasi mbak? Okay, this is one of our schools, the nursery school.
Never mind. Let them find it. You're taking too long.
Salah.
Where are they? They're supposed to be all in elastic bands.
Assalamualaikum. Hey, Ahmad. Yeah, Ahmad. Assalamualaikum. How are you guys? You alright? MashaAllah. Good to know. Assalamualaikum. How are you all?
We are fine, thank you.
MashaAllah. Okay, this is the other school, the it's a cottage of a school, you know. Here we go. They said we have got 7 classrooms and an office. That's about it. Yeah.
Everybody will hop. Everybody here will hop, okay? I like to hop, 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 up and down. I like to hop, 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 all around. So thank you, everybody. That's what we have for you.
Oh, beautiful, isn't it? Great. Alhamdulillah. Just ready when you are.
So, first, I would like to thank you for deciding to sit with me. It's really a pleasure because I don't know if you know, but the first time I contacted you, I wanted to work in the school. And you told me, you said there's not enough money that we could pay you. But when I saw the school and I saw your Facebook post, it really motivated me to want to begin a school as well. So you probably don't know that, but you are an inspiration to me. And I love what you're doing. So if you can, I want to if you can, just give us some background first about the Gambia, and let the viewers know what's the good things about the Gambia that you have to offer.
That's as vast a question as there ever can be. The Gambia with regards to education, or just the Gambia?
Just Gambia itself.
Oh, that will take forever. You see, I consider myself a patriot. You know. You're asking me to sell my country, so you see.
Yes, that's what I want you to do. I want you to sell us on coming to your country.
MashaAllah, alhamdulillah. Okay, I'll try to be a little bit more honest.
Okay.
Yes, first, I must thank you for your very kind words. I didn't see that coming, you know. Yes. It's good to know that, it's becoming an even smaller world when it's already a small world. So we interact and we touch the lives of each other in ways, some of which are not even, it's oblivious of our doing. We affecting lives around the world. So, like I was also listening to you, I found out that I was entranced. I was listening fast, lasted, you see. So yes, alhamdulillah, we can always learn of each other. And that's a good thing.
Yes.
With the Gambia, it's I don't like to call it a tourist destination. I don't particularly, I'm not a fan of tourism, you see. And yes, I do not like to call it a tourist destination. My understanding of the Gambia, it's a simple place, and that's what I like about the Gambia. Growing up, for all my adult, when I am almost 50 now, anyways, it's only until recently I haven't seen a homeless person in this country. And that's not because it's because the family still binds to some degree, you see. Otherwise, for us, there should be homeless around everywhere. I've been traveling around the world. I only just returned from Bangladesh. I've been to India, and, so these are the things that matter most to me in the Gambia,
Yes.
Family who have never worked a day in their lives and they will never go hungry. And the family binds, still to this day, there is still family,
So family is what's so in the Gambia, would you say that family is the center of the life?
Yes, otherwise we'll die, you know. Government's not gonna take care of everyone as they ought to, you
Right.
know. Yeah, so well, you wouldn't tell. I don't see malnourished people, and there's so much poverty abound, you know. But
Yes.
because there is the family setting is not destroyed, so to speak, up until now, it still functioning to some degree. And I think that's what we have got above, even neighbors, even in Senegal, you've got too many homeless, even kids, homeless kids everywhere in Senegal, nearby. Sorry, I don't have to mention names of other countries, but it's the only one place I know where for all my life I have never seen one single person who is homeless, you know?
Wow. Yeah.
And I prefer that to maybe if we had all of the amenities that are in other countries and we don't have this, I would rather we have what we have and not have what we don't have, you know?
Yeah.
That's for me with regards to the Gambia. That's why it's called the Smiling Coast. There's problems everywhere, but I think with regards to humanity, we have not lost it yet, you know? You can live here and not work and still would have food every day because people get angry when they call you to eat and you do not come in. You know, it's that rude to come and see people eating while you're watching. They does not matter if they're poor or they're rich. You know, everybody wants to eat along with them. And,
Yes.
if I were to sell the Gambia, actually the tourism board does a terrible work of it. I tell them, selling the Gambia is selling the people, you know. But when I go there, I see lovely white beaches, you know, cheap tourist destinations, direct flights from Europe. That's where I see, without mentioning the people, you know. And for me, it's the people, you know. It's the Gambia without the people is nothing really, if you ask me. And yes, if I were to sell it in short, I'll say the people. You know? Even though that's not to say we don't have our issues, but alhamdulillah.
Alhamdulillah. And I haven't been, I wanted to move to the Gambia with my family. However, we didn't get a chance to do an opportunity to visit there yet. But everyone that I spoke to, they say that the people sell the country more than the beaches. So so that's a beautiful thing, actually.
I agree with these people, man. I agree with these people, you know.
So tell me
that is true, yes.
So tell me about the education system there.
Education system, it's pretty much colonial, you know.
Okay.
That's either, you know.
Yes.
So
you're still under a British system.
Yes, yes. And not much has changed really with regards to the subjects, teachers, the curriculum really. It's basically from colonialism. Now and then they try to tinker it. It used to be you know, you go to primary school for 6 years and then you would sit in exams where some people would drop out. You know, at some point they tinkered with that. You go on straight up to grade 9, and where some people would drop if they don't pass the common general exam that everyone sits to. And then you would have PS education after that. We call it, you know, senior secondary school. You'd say high school, you know. And then after that, you'd go to college or university, depending on wherever it is that you know, you score in the final exams.
Okay.
Christian dominated, and the Christians run all the schools. Aside from a few Muslim schools like ours, there are so very few Muslim schools for a country that's over 95% Muslim. We don't have much say in how we run the education in the country. Aside from the madrasas there, that comes with its own disadvantages, but yes, we're managing.
Now, I've read that English is the main language in the Gambia. Is that correct? English is the major language?
Yes, you can live here without any other language but English. That's possible.
Okay.
Yeah.
And oh, I'm sorry. And also, I read now. Please correct me if I'm wrong, but I also read that it stated that 53%, even though English is the major language, 53% of the population is considered to be illiterate in the English language. Is that true? What would you
Yes.
say that that's accurate?
Actually, it would be what they would call illiteracy would be those who have not formally gone to school, but that's not a barrier for people's understanding of English. You see. It may not be the best grammar yet, but you can speak to the ladies the sellers at the market, the drivers, the apprentices, and you can walk around here with nothing but English,
Yes.
Also literacy, and as well, it's not really fair sometimes because they do not really consider other people who say, for example, you write in Arabic, and there are people who can't even, the Islamic societies have always promoted literacy. And literacy means if you were able to read the Quran, you're literate. You may not be able to understand what it's saying because you don't have any understanding of the Arabic language, you understand? But we would still consider it. Yes, exactly. So sometimes these statistics would not consider all of those variants, you see. So when you restrict it to only those who have gone through the formal, conventional methods of learning, then it becomes very small, yes.
Okay. Understood. So what is the overall importance that education is placed in the Gambia? Is it like a major focus that children go to school, that they graduate, that they become like professionals? How is the attitude towards education?
I'd like to say I wish it were better, because comparing it with other countries around the world, say for India, for example, I've been to India 3 times, and I have not seen Indian parents focus on anything like education for their children.
Yes.
In lifts, staircases everywhere, it's dua for passing exam. And when the kids are about to do their exam, say a week in advance, I used to tell them, are the parents doing the exam or the children doing the exam? And they said, no, but they need encouragement. They need, subhanallah. The parents are you see the anxiety on their faces. My child is sitting to the exam. And anyone asks you, I want you to make dua for me so my children would pass exams. I was like, it's like, yes, almost on an obsessive level,
Okay.
But it's not like that in here, unfortunately, like that in here, to be honest. I cannot sugarcoat that, it's not like that in here. There's hardly any reading culture,
Yes.
And
Okay,
I cannot see anything more detrimental to the education of children than them not reading. And don't have a reading culture here.
Okay. So reading is not a main issue. It's probably, I guess, the people are more concerned with maybe is it that they're more concerned about the religious studies, making sure that they have the Quran first before like wanting them to actually be in school? Is that it, that the spiritual part takes place before the academics?
This is a bit hard, It used to be the case.
Okay.
Once upon a time, they had to really force the parents to give their kids to the colonially,
Yes.
And they would say, our responsibility between ourselves and you is that we teach you your deen, and thereafter you go and seek your, sustenance, however way you wish, through trade. Well, if they're not too big, then they go to school. But first, they were more concerned with the tarbiyah, or bringing of their children, and not too long ago, our people didn't trust this form. They'd say, not even to kafir,
Yes.
They have some point, because like I told you, I've been to mission schools all my life, like nursery school up to high school. It's all mission schools. And almost everyone will tell you the same, and it does not matter whether you're Muslim or Christian. Those are the ones that were available, so everybody went to those schools, you see. So it used to be when parents were concerned, and the government, they had to coax the people into it. You have to give your kids, education is good, and stories abound of people who took the sacrifice, and alhamdulillah, they live to tell the tale. Now,
Yes.
both are challenged. People are. It's just really like a difficult when it comes to education, and that includes even education of in religious education. Although there are alhamdulillah many madrasas, but just the enthusiasm really for education is not there. And I'm saying this because I have a barometer I can measure it across with from my visits to other parts of the world and seeing how concerned people are with the education of their children. And that I'm referencing it with the Gambia, and I'm saying we're way behind. Although perhaps for some of the parents, they would say, no, we are not, but I know we are. And I think I'm qualified to say that as well, because school fees is good, and it's totally different, really. I wish we could improve on that better, but there is not so much enthusiasm towards it.
And that brings me to the major question, and one of the reasons of why you're here, and I wanted to speak to you. So if everyone that's listening, I'm interviewing the Ibrahim Sarr, and he is a Gambian. He began, I believe you have 3 schools. Is that it now?
Yes.
Yeah, so can you just tell us, what was the journey? What made you decide to even begin to get into education and then create your own school? What was the reason behind it? What was your craving? What were you craving?
Long story. I don't know if I can summarize this.
Try.
Yes, okay. I'll try. Actually, I came onto education by accident. I had returned from the UK in 2009, and someone had told me that you would end up a teacher, working in running schools. I'd say no, because it never was in my plan.
Okay.
Yes. It so happened, you may be pleased to know, there is this American woman, Rahima, her name is, and I know her husband. And, yes, and she had a contract to write books and build a curriculum for a certain university. The university had plans to teach English to the kids who have gone to the madrasas in 1 year, so that thereafter they would be amalgamated into the system, upon their acquiring English, because, their tuition has been in direct language. So her husband recommended that to me. And then I got talking to her, and then that's how I got into education. Actually, she was hired by the university, and then she hired me to do some works for her. So we wrote 2 books in the process. Wrote a curriculum, trained teachers, and we had it going. It's actually one of the most beneficial educational initiatives this country ever took up.
Wow.
The university a lot of money, yes, from it. We at the height of it, before we left, we had from 1 class, we had up to, I think, about 8 schools running simultaneously. And I was coordinator of the program, while she oversaw everything that was going on. Alhamdulillah, that's what I was engaged in for, I think, 2 years, and then they decided to go global. So I was sent to Guinea-Bissau. You would know Guinea-Bissau, right? It's not too far from here. From the success of what we had grown here and said, okay, now you go to Guinea-Bissau. Actually, at the time I was going to Guinea-Bissau on business. You see. I had plans to become a millionaire, you know.
Oh,
So
okay.
yeah, so I didn't know that my going to Guinea-Bissau at the time was actually I was doing this and that there, selling cars, you know, laptops and stuff. That's what I wanted to do, really, you know, make money out of doing business. But then it didn't quite work out according to plan. So then I was sent to Guinea-Bissau prior to the success of what we had established here earlier, and as well because I knew Guinea-Bissau. You know? So we went there. We set up another institute trying to teach English to people who weren't all that affair with it. And in Guinea-Bissau, the work was even more, as in it, you know, it's a Portuguese colony, and the president, the ministers, top government officials would complain that they would go around the world to attend meetings, but there would be no Portuguese translation. You see.
Okay.
Yes, usually it was English and French, and they would forget the Portuguese. You see. So they were in that regard. So we did some work in there as well. And then I was recalled home. And then at the time, Rahima, my boss, then had moved to East Africa. And I followed her there as well, you know. So all this while, you know, I was engaged in different levels of education, you know. So there as well, we went there. We wrote 4 books, myself and a small team. And wrote another curriculum as well for online teaching. These are online now, you know, the woman is benefiting from them. Hopefully, some of the benefits accrue to us as well. Then we came home. She had to come home because of, she came home. Not long after that, I also returned. And I started work as an editor of the biggest online company in the news company in here. And then she said, you know, I want us to start a school. You know, my former boss, the American lady I mentioned to you. And I said, okay, I think that's a good idea because myself and her, we work very well, alhamdulillah. Alhamdulillah, alhamdulillah, great partnership. And that's how we started. It was a challenge.
And then what's the name of your schools?
Center for Academic Excellence Schools. Center for Academic Excellence.
Center for Academic
Excellence
Schools.
The challenge, actually,
and is it
it's from nursery to we have got grade 8 now. Actually it shouldn't be more than 2 schools. We just decide to divide them based on gender, you know, boys apart, girls apart, to make it more Islamic, you know. We have a problem here in that even the madrasas have got mixed classes, you know. It's kind of, I don't know how they do it, but yes, even the madrasas have got mixed classes, you know. So but we challenge with space half the time. We challenge with space. We'd have to work on a 4th school if we do not have a bigger place. That's why we actually have got 3 schools. Growth in numbers, but we could really, with the amount that we have, we could cram them all into one really if we had space. But because we challenge with space, that's why we have 3 schools instead of 1 or 2.
I understand. So it's growing in numbers, but the space is also so that you can separate the genders.
Yes. We should have more than 2 schools at the moment. Later on, I wouldn't mind if we have a franchise of schools and you know, there is a need for it. But because it's just growth pains really, you having numbers and there is no space, so you have to acquire another place. Until we have a bigger place where we can fit all our girls and all our boys, then we might have to have a 4th school as well. So I would say I've got 4 schools, but out of necessity rather than growth, you see.
But that's great. Now, what would you say that your school is doing that, or let's say, what need is your school given that the other schools are not doing?
First, literacy. This is. I haven't seen a school where the teachers would say every kid is reading at the nursery level, you know, and And that's one thing we pride ourselves in, we make sure they read from nursery level. That's why I particularly like the program of yours, the one I had listened to, and you had given some statistics with kids who have not been able to read well, how they end up in prison. Oh, it was like music to my ears, man. I had always believed this, you see, but I never saw the statistics. But I knew if the kids could read from an early age, they would never struggle with education thereafter,
Yes,
The key was to get them to read as early as, get them to fall in love with books, and the job is half done,
Yes.
And I think above everything else is our strength. Like I told you, there are many Muslim schools, and we also have separated the genders. I do not want to go into the troubles of having big boys and girls together in one. The distraction, all of what comes along with it. Alhamdulillah, we don't have to worry with that. That's a big plus, that's a big plus. But yes, we emphasize on the kids to read and to love books. And I know this is it, Actually, I am, my hands are tied in that I have to follow a curriculum to some level, but otherwise I wouldn't give them much except to make them love reading, and thereafter everything would fall in place, But we are bound by law to follow the curriculum to some degree, and we try to do that while not neglecting that which I believe is the root cause and the solution to the problem.
Yes, I believe that as well.
And so, if you were aware, but a proof of what we've been doing, for the first time in the Gambia, there was a youth, Americans would call it spelling bee,
Yes, I saw that on your Facebook page, actually.
There you go. We point above our weight in that, we actually in existence for only 5. So the grades 7, 8, or 6, all of that is from transfers, you see, but we've in existence, and we started from nursery 1, right? So alhamdulillah, Allah has been kind. We can't complain, we so much within 5 years. We've got 300 kids as we speak, and it's work that has been done from 5 years, and we started with 18 kids,
Wow. So you, and how many children do you have now?
300. 300.
Wow.
5 years ago, we started with 18, and now we have 300 scattered across 3 schools. So we can't complain. Yes, but with regards to the spelling bee, it was the first national competition that was ever held here with regards to spellings, you see. And my kids, actually, we only participated for one category because there was the junior and the senior, but, because it's a new school, we don't qualify for, the senior categories. So we swept through, man. We swept through, smooth sailing all through. You would think we would have filled all the spots in the final category with our students. Yes, alhamdulillah.
That is
that's
wonderful.
Testament to their ability to read, yes, and spell, yes, alhamdulillah.
Absolutely. Now, what have your school done to promote this reading and to get them to the point of even wanting to be in a spelling bee? What are some of the things, the activities that you have implemented into your school to foster this love of reading and literacy and spelling?
That actually it's online, simple. It's spelling words beginning from 2-letter words, at, in, on, like that. And every week we'll give them a group of words every week. And this helps them to get the reading, because once you get the phonics, then it becomes very easy to read, So at an early age, we give them the 2-letter words for a start. And every week you're drumming that in them, and they're getting it. O-F, O-N, O-H, O-R, like that. Gradually they're getting it. And then next time you're giving them I-N, I-S-I-T. And kids, it's funny sometimes how kids learn. They're learning without you realizing it, And sometimes before you know it, they're reading, and even you be shocked that they're reading. You yourself are shocked that they're starting to
Yes.
get it there, because that's just how it is. Because you're going in sequence, giving it to them, and they're getting it there. Kids are smart, you know. They're
Yes.
absorbing it as they're going on. Yes. I remember once, Rahima was in a car with my boy. I brought my kid in, my son. And the first time she knew he could read was when they were in a car, and he said, "I love Allah," which was written on the car that was ahead of them.
Oh, wow.
Yes. In myself, I am amazed sometimes when they get it. I'll write a word which I have not properly decoded for them, and I am shocked when they get it. And those are the light bulb moments, the joy, man.
You stated that you were going to be a businessman, but when I see you speaking and talking about the children and talking about their growth, you look like an educator. I can see your face just brighten when you're talking about it right now.
I wouldn't change this work for anything. I would. I don't mind if I get rich in the process, or otherwise I don't mind any longer.
Yes.
Being with kids, and the younger they are, the more they are my favorites. The innocence of kids, really. It's how do I explain this? When you discover it's something else, and anyways, you're a teacher as well, realizations cannot be transferred. You feel it either or you don't, that's it. Yeah, and when you bring people and you holding their names to write the letter A, then you're going over and write a circle, then you write a stick, and then later on you hold conversations with them in English, nothing.
Mashallah.
No,
So speak to me about your teachers. How are your teachers trained? Does Gambia have a teachers college that they go through, or you train your teachers yourself? And are they just as enthusiastic as you are?
That's a challenge. If I speak honestly to you about teachers in general, I must have them listen to this. There is a song that says, "If your heart's not ready now, let it go. Stop wasting time. Don't fool yourself. It won't grow.
Yes.
Let it go. Yes, and that's a challenge. That's a challenge. Yes, because teaching it does not attract the best of the talent out there. Due to remuneration mainly, really. And I the same for me as well. It's not like I'm doing my for the odds, I would love to, but it's not something I can afford to. Because even as we speak now, I'm challenged with. If I show you the WhatsApp, the messages I'm sending on the WhatsApp group asking the parents to send in their school visits, I'm running after the parent. It's difficult, So teaching doesn't attract the best talent out there, So it's more a case of no choice. So I'm gonna become a teacher anyway, because the other options are I go into the police or the army. And as a result,
the choice is teacher or army, police.
Or police. There you go. I'm telling you the jobs that don't pay as much, and they do not require so much qualifications. And there is only one teacher college in the whole country anyway. You know what I mean? So that shows you all that you need to know about how much emphasis or value the government puts on education, when for a whole country, all you've got is one teaching college. So, but then again, perhaps because there is not so much a demand, then that's it. Teachers generally are not paid too well. And as a result, it does not attract the best of the talent out there. And if your heart's not ready, it's difficult,
Yes.
So sometimes, how do you teach that? How do you teach the enthusiasm? Alhamdulillah, this is not to say for every teacher, but when you're working with 30 teachers as we are, we're working with 30 teachers. That's difficult,
Yes, I do know. As an administrator, I do know it's very difficult.
Yeah, it's
And
very difficult.
I always say, for a true teacher, I believe already have it in their heart. It's in the heart, and you can tell a teacher because they get excited learning. The difference between and then doing it because they love it. And those are the teachers that we would want to have, those who love and who love just love being around the children and love to educate. We don't always get those. But if they can at least have a love for learning, even if they don't know how to teach, you can mold them to be a teacher. You can mold them to be an educator. But teaching is part of a natural thing to me.
Yes, I believe so too. Sometimes you have kids and you see one of them, he plays football better than the others, and it's not because you taught him to do it; it just comes natural to him.
Yes.
To some degree, yes. Teaching is something you have in the blood or you don't. And
yes.
For myself, actually, I come from a family of teachers. My uncle,
okay.
Yes, my uncles. So it's something I did not desire for myself, but then perhaps for all the sacrifices that they were doing, teaching around the country, some of it has rubbed on me now, and I wouldn't change this job. Yes.
Do you have a place or somewhere where if someone's watching this and they want to be a part of let's say they want to be a part of your vision and a part of your reformation of bringing literacy to the Gambia, what can they do? Can we donate? Can we come and volunteer our time? How would we get in touch with you if we wanted to do that?
Oh, mashallah. I like either of the two. You can do both, inshallah. It's not either or, it's mashallah, it's whatever it is, Yes, actually, if anybody wants to volunteer their time, alhamdulillah, we can arrange. The challenge, like I told you earlier, I didn't think we can afford you,
Yes.
Exactly. So that word volunteer has to be in capital letters so they understand. But that's not to say we cannot do our part, We perhaps can have you lodge with one of us. Myself, under the circumstances, I live comfortably.
Well, you have it from me, and it's going to all of my viewers that if I'm able to get a ticket and I'm able to get housing for the summer, I'll come and I'll train your teachers for you. How's that?
I'm taking you up on that, Okay. Okay. All right. Inshallah.
And that's all it would take.
We'll give you free lodging, and you wouldn't complain with the place, inshallah.
Inshallah.
Yes, it will be to your standards, and you don't have to worry about food and where you stay. And generally, this can be said for any, except for when you have some people have certain needs, and I do not know whether if you have special needs or maybe high maintenance. We might struggle with things like that. Yes.
Well, I'm an American. I'm gonna have the basic needs of an American, maybe.
No issues. Sister Hima is American as well. She'd be happy to have any one of you. I live comfortably. Actually, I'll share I'll share my residence that which is available. I will share more with you. This is for people who may want to come and stay.
Yes.
We only have a Facebook page, Center for Academic Excellence. That's all we have. And my number, anyone can call me anytime. And I think my number is on it as well. And yes, if anyone wants to donate, yes, via any means, inshallah, we'll be able to retrieve it. However.
Wonderful. And I'll place your Facebook page into our comments so that anyone can find you on Facebook as well.
Thank you so much, man. We appreciate it.
Well, I have to go, but I want you to know this has been a truly wonderful interview. And I want to see you again, like maybe 1 year, have an interview with you again and see the accomplishments of your students and the school. And I truly want to be a part of it because I think that you're doing something special. And so many times we can talk about the problems that we're facing, but the true mark of excellence is those who's trying to solve those problems. So you are one of the ones that's trying to solve the problems of education. So my hijab gets tipped off to you. I thank you so much for just sitting with me, and I'm hoping that you can send me some pictures so I can also put it in for the viewers to see as well. Some of your children or whatever you can show of your school.
Inshallah, inshallah. Yes, virtual tipping of the hijab would be halal, I think. Yes, you can. Yes, Mufti says that's no problem. Yes. Okay, thank you so much. We'll do our best to do this, inshallah. I'll forward you wherever it is.
This is true.
Yes.
So
I'll forward you some pictures and videos, inshallah.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yes,
we appreciate it as well. We appreciate it, and we're looking for. Anyways, I'll follow this up, man. I'll follow it up, Inshallah, you come here and inshallah train out just for.
Yes,
for
absolutely. Absolutely. So once again, thank you, and I look forward to speaking with you. And please follow up with me so that we can set things up.
Without doubt, I'll do that almost immediately. Yes.
Inshallah. All right. Have a great day. Enjoy the rest of your evening.
All right. Thank you. All right.
I would like to thank Mr. Ibrahim Sarr for being our special guest today, and I would like to thank you, the audience, for tuning in and continuously supporting our podcast. Please remember to continue to support us by liking, hitting the like button, subscribing, turning on your notifications, and sharing the video. I thank you all once again, and I look forward to seeing you the next time.
So you're a philosopher?
Yes. 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 Yes.